So this is going to be a little bit of a long video, but I think this needs to be discussed. So I often have arguments with people that say things like, there's no one out there. I don't know anyone like that. The reality is, you might not know someone that has done something or that's dealing with certain situations, but that doesn't mean that no one of all the 8 billion people on this earth doesn't mean that it's not happening. And I think about this because I recently saw a post that made me think about a clip that I saw earlier this year. Two young ladies were on a podcast. One young lady made a statement about single women choosing to be single mothers, that there are some women that are intentionally becoming single mothers, don't want the fathers to be an active participant just so that they can benefit from the government public assistance. The other young lady stated, "What? So you mean to tell me that there's a woman out there that's choosing to be a single mother? I don't know anyone like that." You don't know anyone like that. No one in your circle is thinking like that. And that's great. We love to hear things like that. But you can't tell people that no one out there is doing this. And I also say, sometimes when we listen to people who are trying to share this knowledge with you, you also got to take into consideration what is their experience. A person like me, when I first started teaching full time, I taught in a trade school. Our program, we had new students starting every 4 weeks. So every 4 weeks, I was meeting 50 to 100 new students every month. That means that for the 3.5 years that I was there, how many people did I encounter on a daily basis? Now, I used to have the mindset like the other young lady, no one is out there doing that. You mean to tell me, yeah, because up until that point, I was only encountering and engaging with a small population of people. And a lot of those people didn't do a lot of the things that we would hear. But when I say to you, yes, that kind of argument, are there women out there choosing to be single mothers and not wanting to be with the father and choosing to be on public assistance? Are there some women out there? Absolutely. Why? Because I met some. So I can no longer say no one is doing this. I can honestly say, yeah, there's some out there doing it because I have encountered that. Another example, there was a gentleman, I'm telling him about the dating scene, and he made a comment, "Why would you date those kind of men?" I said, "Your assumption is that I'm dating this. I am telling you what I encounter based off of the male students that I have had over the years. And they talk and they listen. And I listen because I'm always listening. And I'm like, dag, this is like, the theory of, there's a theory. There are some people out there who are only in relationships. So for safety, they're looking for a place to stay. And some people don't believe that. Ain't nobody out there just being with someone just so they can have a place to stay. Yeah, yeah, I've had students to tell me this. Grown people. Again, I work with adults. I'm not talking about 13, 14-year-olds. We're talking about in their 20s, their 30s. I've taught up to 70 years old. I have heard so many stories. I have literally witnessed some of the most outrageous things that my students have done over the years. So I come with a different perspective because I have realized, even just teaching in New York City, that is not even the whole world, but I have encountered so many people. And when you hear people's story, it makes you realize, there's really some people out here that's dealing with other things that people in my circle and my family, my friends would never encounter, but it happens. So I want you, the next time you are trying to argue with someone who's trying to share an experience that they have heard, that they have gone through, don't debate and make people feel like, oh no, there's no one out there, just because you're limited in your exposure of people. If you have not met a good solid 20 people, and I mean not just met them for 5 seconds, I'm talking about met them, been around them, heard their story, heard their life story, and you cannot say no one out here is doing this. That is impossible. Everyone is like this. Stop doing that. And open up your exposure to meeting new people, and you start realizing there's a lot of people out here that have many out of the box experiences because they just have experienced different things. So I just wanted to share that because we got to stop with the tussling. We can learn so much from one another, especially if you are only limited in what you have experienced and what you have seen with your own two eyes, and just start realizing, like, dang, there's people out here who are doing things that I would never imagine. But just know and respect the fact that these people have done and they have gone through whatever they have gone through. And we just a part of living and experiencing. So I wanted to share that. I'm your girl, Tanisha Shanae, Miss